I think I will jump to Claude. Okay, since we try to finish at 10:30, I think it will have a slight delay lah. Apologize for that. Okay, I will share with you some of the Claude feature. In Claude, right, if you pay attention to the top left corner over here, okay, we have a chat model. Okay, Claude Chat, we have a Claude used for coding. We have a Claude Cowork. Cowork is only available for people that pay the subscription. Free user, you wouldn't have access to Cowork. The beauty of Cowork is that right now you can use Claude and the agent can have the skill. If under customize button over here, right? Okay, you have anyway. I have an invitation code here. This one, right? Said that the people, if let's say you are a free user, you can use 1 week free for Cowork. Okay, so I paste my invitation link over here, but only have 2 lah. I only can have 2 people. So if let's say you are listening to the webinar right now and you are paid to the Claude subscription, right, and you are sitting in front of desktop, you can share your invite link over here lah. So other free Claude user in the same chat room, they can play with it for a week. Okay, then from here under customize, right? Okay, here they are connector, they are skill. Connector is that you can connect to a different platform. For here, I have connected with my GitHub, with my Gmail, with my Google Calendar and NNN. And skill, right, is actually the skill you can set to the agent. For example, this is the skill I've just created just now. Okay, it's on a financial forecast. So for here, right, this one is also a simple layman language. Okay, on what is the things that you want to do in your financial forecast. Okay, and I also have a reconciliation skill. You know what? My analogy to reconciliation skill is a guessing game. How do you guess this one? Let one day come in. This one, exact amount should be tally. So basically, it's all the logic on how you do a recon. Then you pass it to the agent. It will follow your instruction in your skill documentation to execute the task. Put it in a simpler way. This one is basically a junior. You tell him what to do. This one is your SOP. Then it will follow the SOP to execute the task for you. So because of the time constraint, I don't want to refresh one example. I just show you one example that I have built in the morning session, in the afternoon session. So when I start on a new task, right? When I start on a new task, usually you need to choose a directory to work on. Basically, it's your file path in folder. Okay. You can use existing folder. Then from here, you can select. You want to select what folder. So just now, I select a blank folder in the blank file. I say from here, okay. I see whether I can zoom in, but quite difficult. Okay, bear with me. Okay, from here, you will set out few things. Okay, you will set out some Claude.md. Claude.md is actually the main instruction that you give to the agent for this project. For example, okay, the agent persona, okay, they are professional data scientists and business analysts doing the financial performance, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this one is the main character of the agent that you define. Okay, the instruction in this project, what it's going to do. Then from here, just now, I also customize a skill over here as a financial forecast. Okay, what this skill does? Meaning to say that when the agent do some tasks, it will trigger them to, when you ask him, help me to do financial forecast for the next 3 years, it will trigger them to use this skill to apply to their work. From there, we no need to, every time we want to do something, we need to prompt from A to Z. Okay, from JB to Penang, prompt all the way, no need. We just set the skill one time. Next time, it will trigger the skill. It will use the detailed step in the skill to execute the task. All right. Then from here, let me go back to this one. Okay. So you see, I said that, okay, help me do a forecast for this. This is my only instruction. Okay. Help me do a dashboard and forecast. I didn't write a long prompt for the things that I want. So for here, the output is here. Okay, both are already. The ABC Trading General Ledger, like this one, is actually the same thing with this one. Okay, it's the same source of data, 1000 over line of GL. Okay, then from here, I already put the file inside the folder. I asked it that based on this one to do a dashboard. And this one is the output of the dashboard that it has done. Okay. There is a financial analyst over here because during my prompt, just in my skill, right, I asked him to also do analysis. Okay. I asked him also do analysis in the skill. So it will give you a dashboard. Okay. With the analysis over here. So again, same thing. If let's say when you are a business analyst or if you are a BU head, right? Every time you have your own way to interpret the figure. Like I myself, I was an audit partner. I have my own way to interpret this and the figure. So I can actually tell the agent how to embed into the skill to interpret different figure. Okay. I think if the people over here you are at a senior level, you know what I'm talking about lah. Like all the auditor, we look at figure differently. Same thing for the business analyst, we look at different figure. The gist is we want the AI interpret as if we are doing the work, so we can replicate ourselves to do the analysis at bulk level. All right. Then I also ask for some forecast, and forecast is in the Excel format. Okay. So this is the Excel forecast and all the things. And the good thing is, right, if you look at all this, right, okay, it's all linked to the formula. It's formula linked. Okay. It's not sort of hard coded. Meaning to say that if you change your assumption over here, right, okay, the figure behind will change accordingly. Okay. Because it's not sort of hard coded. Okay. So this one is a output in the Excel instead of a forecast assumption for the next 3 years. This is how you can do using Claude Code itself. That's why back to my just now when I opening, I said if right now you are start to embracing, if you are not using Claude, or if you using Claude, you are not using Cowork yet. Cowork, you are unable to access using a web browser. If you're using the web browser one, you won't have the button just now. Okay, you need to download Claude Desktop. You need to download Claude Desktop.
But please, the caveat is, you might need to get IT's approval to download anything to be stored locally, right? Due to the fact that, this one has access to the local files. So for many of you who work in the corporates or accounting firms, right, or finance departments of listed companies, all of these things will need to go through approval first before you can get these things installed, right? Although, the reality is a lot of people are using Claude right now. In fact, we did a survey amongst all of the entire community of startup founders that we're all part of. And, the number of people who are using Claude now is almost double that the number of people using OpenAI and ChatGPT for day-to-day personal productivity use cases.
This one is an instant boost if your IT give clearance and you are allowed to use. Okay, I answer some of the question. Okay, Kathy's Hall. Before we can do this, we need to install NN platform in our laptop. NN no need to install. NN is a cloud platform. NN is a cloud platform, and there are free trial account. 14 days, you can try and play. I also share the NN link over here. Okay, but NN after the free trial, you can choose to install in your laptop. Okay, you can choose to install in your laptop and run locally. Then you no need to pay, but it undergo some of the setting. Okay, Nicole, there's a question. Hi, trainer. Can I check with you which is the best tool to generate PPT, include icon diagram? You can use Claude to generate. Claude can generate PPT. Okay, let me see whether I have some of the output. Oh, just now this one is the renovation. Done already, finished running already. Let me download and look at it. Okay, the two quotation right on the renovation we see that. So you see this is the output lah. Okay, recommended supplier this one. Then they do the comparison and the scoring, price comparison, criteria, term sheet comparison, detailed analysis. So it's quite identical to the Acorn supplier just now. But if you pay attention, the details of some presentation might vary. So this is the characteristic of using AI. Okay, but the important information is still there lah. Okay, then let me find you some of the slide. Okay, Okay, for example, this one slide was published. Okay, back then we are also using Anthropic model for our product. Claude can do PowerPoint, but at this point of time, I need to stress this. This point of time, PowerPoint kills a lot of token. Kills a lot of token in the sense that if you're using API, last time I try 30. This one is created by Super CF4, backed by Anthropic. Last time we create this this one is more, maybe this one 13 deck, right? I remember last time this round the cost is about 20 over USD. 20 over USD for that is not really worth it lah. But if you are paying the subscription, $100 subscription, maybe you create this PPT will kill you maybe 20-30% of your 5 hours quota lah. So right now,
so at the moment, I think at the moment, Claude can do slides, but it's not the most efficient. There are many other AI software out there that can be used to create slides right now.
Right now, what I do, I use Gemini NotebookLM. I think it's good enough already. And NotebookLM right now, you can prompt ask it to amend also. This is my personal pick at this moment in terms of the PPT slide creation. Okay, then let me look at some of the question. Marcus Chia. Marcus Chia is not the participant. Marcus Chia is one of the trainer. White Code API cannot connect to an API. Okay, he's answering the question just now. Jackson, so far, how's the accuracy like using Claude to analyze your data? My experience for Claude, right? Not only I commend it for a broader spectrum, not only for analyzing data. I would say if accuracy is not 100%, accuracy is not 100%. It can be ranging between 85 to 90 in terms of accuracy. But the quality of the analysis, right? Okay, I'll show you another quick example. Anyone is working on the audit, right? Over here can give, press audit over here. No? Okay, I think in the favor time I don't share because I need to open another application. I use agent to work on audit file and text file. Okay, they can populate everything, even including the audit query and text query. Frankly speaking, I look at the audit query. I am an audit partner myself. The query quality is better than the second years of full-time staff. Means it's at A2 or S1 level. And in terms of the analytic, right? I think early this week, I go to Singapore, visit one of my friends. He is an economist in OCBC. They are using a lot of AI, but they are not particularly using Claude. They didn't disclose. They use their in-house AI model. They actually say that the analysis done by the AI, because the AI, like we understand just now, now I'm creating the audit query. I'm auditor. I know what things to ask, what things to look out for. The quality output is usually approximate to a 2 to 3 year staff in your company. And most importantly, just now I mentioned the accuracy is 85% to 90%, right? Most of the time right now, our staff cannot give us this kind of accuracy rate. And not to mention the turnaround time. I use Claude to do audit, to scaffold the audit working paper, full suite audit paper with queries. Within 1 hour can come out. If do it manually, it's never possible. So this is my comment on some of my observation right now. Then, of course, this is the main of the showcase for today. The last thing I want to share with all of you is some of the programs we think it can really helpful for yourself or your organization to embark into the adoption journey. Like I mentioned in the deck just now, agent is the easiest way to use. You just give the AI the prompt, the things that you're asking for. So from there, you can start to get the output. And in May, I think 23rd or 24th of May, in Work Subang, we are going to have our very first class in terms of the Claude agent orchestration, how to use Claude Cowork, how to set the agent, how to set the skill, and how to set the Claude identity. And actually, hopefully, we can touch on the agent team. In fact, you can have a team of agent. But to me, right, agent team sounds very good, sounds very change. But when you run into practice, there are different hassles that you will encounter. I use a lot of agent and sometimes agent team. And Marcus over here, he use a lot of agent teams. So he have a lot of different experience and to share. It's not always nice to deal with agent team from my perspective. But end of the day, we need to know how to configure an agent first before you go to a team. So this is the course that we newly launched for 23rd to 24th May. And the prerequisite is you have a Claude subscription. Okay, this is the prerequisite. You need to have a minimum $20 USD subscription for Claude lah. Because right now, the Cowork doesn't available on the free user. Okay. Yeah, so Raj, I answered your question. You need to subscribe the $20. So you just treat it as a part and parcel of the training fee. Okay, NAN as usual is one of the hottest demand course that we have. The next session will be 14 to 15 May. We will be using, and in fact, every time our session, we will improvise the syllabus. Going further and further is getting more and more practical because we have a lot, as we conducted numbers of training, and we have the project with some larger corporate. We know that what are the exact pain points that need to address, and it addresses effectively. Okay. Then this one is the white coding. If you are interested to bring your workflow, connect it together, become something like this, or something like the panel that I shown just now, like this. There are some white coding technique, and actually Marcus is leading the white coding classes. Marcus is over here. Okay, in the orange color. Marcus is the expert in UI UX. He's from the IT field. Okay, so he's the best person to teach the white coding. So if let's say you are interested, feel free to sign out. Okay, I will share our website over here.
Yeah, I mean, these are the public classes. If some of you are from larger organizations, you want to have a dedicated session for 25 to 35 packs, let us know. We conduct private sessions as well for the different entities and organizations. So what's the difference between public and private? If let's say, for example, you're running an SME, right, 40, 50 people, or you have 5 people or 10 people, then you don't need to train everybody. But what will be useful will be having people who are the process owners to go for it and the bosses to go for it. Because we always encourage the bosses to go for it due to the fact that once you know what's possible, then you can resource accordingly and you know your organization and processes inside out to be able to change it, right? But let's say you have a 200 packs organization, 400 packs organization, right? And you want to have holistic AI transformation across the organization quite quickly. Then the idea is having 20, 30 people internally will be enough to have different functional heads and functional leaders to know enough to start automating. Our commitment with all our programs in general is within 2 weeks, assuming IT gives you the clearance, right? Whatever that you learn, you should be able to implement within your organization already, right? Even if 90% of the participants are non-technical people. That has always been our assurance. These are all the companies that we train, right? 70 people from Right Bank, Mr. DIY 70 people, Money Match about 40 people, Zeus about 70 people, and so on and so forth. The whole idea is about creating a critical mass of people who can help to drive the process changes internally in the organization. Starting off with low-code, no-code platforms like NAN, but you can link it to Microsoft or Google or Lark. And then subsequently, the other one about individual productivity is Claude, right? So both are complementary in terms of the finance processes.
Yeah, Justin have a question. How can I move a Claude Agent out from Claude Desktop app to a unified dashboard showing all my Claude Agent and NN workflow? Justin, this one you need to attend white coding session already. You can build a platform, okay, then all the things you are shown there. I can show you my example is quite similar. For example, this one I built it myself, right? Then from here, I can see all the skill that I have created for this agent. So if let's say you have multi-agent, it's a matter of how you add the agent inside the room. If let's say for my particular UI. So I think that one, Justin, maybe white coding suit you. Okay, so let me address more message in the chat box. Okay, Peijen, Darren Tan. Okay, as a beginner, which one to attend first? Okay, beginner, right? I will strongly recommend automation workflow. Okay, despite just now when I share, right, agents is easier to use, but if you don't have the concept of how orchestration or how process step by step is being done, it's very difficult for you to prompt. It's very difficult for you to instruct the agent to what to do this, what to do that, and you find that sometimes the output is not what you want. Sometimes it's difficult for you to improve it. But after attending the workflow automation, at least you are able to appreciate that how the things, right, actually flowing to where's my. Give me a second. I closed it just now. You can appreciate how the process connecting node by node, how it flows. then you have the concept in your mind. It's easier for you to interact with AI agent to either set out the skill or to get the output that you want. So from here, you know that this one is a submit a document. This one is to analyze something. This one is to extract something. And finally, post data to somewhere. So I will strongly recommend that beginner or you first in touch in this, you go through workflow first. Once you have the concept on how the workflow is running, then you can go to agent class or go to the white coding class. White coding is like, if you are like Justin just now, I think the name is Justin, right? You already create something, you want to build everything, tap out together, then white coding class is the one that you can go lah. Okay. HRDC ground workflow just now, Jackson. You also trainer, is it? Can you connect it to the HRDC government.my? Okay. For the one, you need to use the web browser control click. Doable. Okay. But you need to give your ID password credential embedded in the workflow. I'm doing it now myself. Every time get the claim, then go in, click the claim. Okay, click this, click that, attach this one. Doable. Okay, Jackson. After attending first session and still don't understand, can repeat in your future class. So basically right now our class come with the 3 months WhatsApp support. And what happened is I encountered like last month we just concluded one and there's a freelancer doing accounting also. And on and off, I will help her to answer the question. She actually DM me lah. Maybe she's more shy to ask in the group chat. So I can like Ultra Viewer go to her laptop to help her to do a simple debugging lah. That one is okay. We have a 3 month support after the session. But I think for yourself, most importantly is after the class, you get the momentum on. Because what we have seen that most of the time for people who didn't carry out is that maybe this is just another training session for him or her for this year. Then he doesn't continue using. From there, she lost the momentum or he. Then it's very difficult for you to catch back. So important thing is in our 2 days training, always end it with one group project. And we strongly encourage you use your real use case in the project so they can start to use the workflow already. From there, you can keep your momentum on. And in the group chat, sometimes you can discuss with other peers. They're also facing some of the same problem. Okay.
Yeah. So I think, in general, right, most of the training, I think, if you have to open up the course, right, so you work through 8 to 10 examples, everybody will be hands-on to actually build 8 to 10 workflows. And not only that, right, because your peers will also be sharing workflows. So you end up with 20, 30 workflows, maybe, 20 workflows, right, during the 2-day session. So by the end of 2 days, number one, you know how to connect things together. Number two, you understand the logic of the different process engineering, but where to put the AI inside, whether it's to do financial reconciliation or expenses or building a chatbot or simple analysis or even web scrapers. And then you can combine them together. So the idea is to show as much variety over a 2-day period. And you have the Lego bricks and the Lego blocks to continue to learn amongst your peers. But like what Wei Jin said, at the end of the day, after 2 days, it's all about practice. Right, the more you practice, the more is. I think the reason why we showcase the logic over here is you can see actually it's not that complicated, right? 5-6 steps, 4 to 5 steps, 2 to 3 steps, right? And essentially, as long as you know how to connect things together and you know how to calibrate, that's the power of something like this kind of low-code, no-code AI agents, because it devolves the possibility of you to build your own OCR workflow without having to rely on the tech team. Right? As long as you operate within the tech team's sandbox and the governance structure. That's the key part.
Okay. Anyone have any more questions? You can just type it in the chat box and we are happy to answer. So coming out in May, actually, we will try to do this every month. 1 session white coding, 1 session automation, 1 session of the AI agent. Okay. Right now we are focusing on Claude because Claude is one of the best model. So like I said right now, if let's say at your own pace you want to try out, try to subscribe Claude and play with it. Then slightly, if you think that it's possible, then you want to do further, feel free to attend our public workshop. And from there, you can get to know some friends from different industry as well. All right.
Yeah. I've just reshared the link. And then there's also the course from a Google form. If you're interested to join our next public class, you can just check it out. Or if you're interested in having a corporate training for your larger entities between 25 to 35 packs, feel free to get in touch with us and then we can arrange accordingly.
All right. And I think this concludes our webinar for today. And actually, we do have a weekly webinar on Thursday. Just that it's not always as speaking. Sometimes it's Marcus, sometimes it's other speaker. If you're interested, all the free webinar schedule is on our website also. You can go and mark in your calendar. You see which content you are more interested in. And we hope that you enjoy our sharing along the way. So have a good night for the Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Play music and then we go. Bye.